Okay, boys and girls, and welcome back to the Random Geek channel. So, what we're going to do is we're reviewing this guy. So this is the Bomaker GC555. So this is a home theater LED projector. So first of things first, not a sponsored video, bought this out of my own actual pocket. So obviously the opinions are going to be my own. So be rest assured that what I'm going to say is obviously I'm going to say it how it is and what I think of this actual projector. So first things first, if you've missed my unboxing video, you can find it on my actual channel, and that basically goes through opening the actual box and showing you what's actually inside it, and my first impressions on the actual device, and just the selection of the ports, the cables you get, and pretty much the little bag that you get inside. So if you want to go to watch that first, please go right ahead. But what we're going to do is we're going to start the actual review of this little projector itself. So I'm going to put this down, and here we go. So I'm actually in a spare room in my house, and we've actually got this little projector set up. So first things first, I really like how this looks. It's not a compact projector as such, but it's quite neat. It's kind of nice plastic feel. The actual build quality feels so quite good actually. The actual top is actually brushed, I think aluminium actually. It's actually quite nice actual looking. This is the actual white model. I believe it only comes in the actual white. It fits actually the decor of my house, and obviously the actual furniture is one of the reasons why I actually chose this. So this is a 720p actual projector. So obviously not HD, but given the actual price point, this is 170 Australian dollars. So relatively cheap. This is like a budget actual, and the fact that you can actually get a 720 actual projector in this price point these days is actually quite amazing, because most actual projectors in this actual price point you're looking at 480p, so usually resolutions of 480 by 800. So this is 720, so I think that's 2.25 maybe, if my maths is correct, the actual resolution. And the reason why I actually went with this actual device is I was going to install this in one of the actual spare rooms in my house, basically for my wife. She watches a lot of animation, so pretty much anime. Most anime is actually encoded at 720p resolution, so obviously I didn't need something actual higher than actual that. I was going to actually buy like an actual large screen TV and mount it onto the actual wall. But obviously that was a lot of work, and it was going to cost me, over $1,000 at least to actually get the whole actual TV and the actual mounting back and setting it up and everything. And I had a look around and I was like, well, okay, so I've got an option, and I was like, okay, I haven't had a projector in a while. I haven't used a lot of projectors in the past, and I was curious to see what was actually available. So we got this actual device here. So I was planning to go with either this model or the A-Box A2 model, and the Vankyo, I think V600. The V600 is a lot better actual device in my opinion. You will see actual reviews online saying that it's under $200. That's 200 American dollars, and I'm not sure where they're actually getting it. But where I live, obviously I live in Australia, prices are exceptionally expensive. So the actual Vankyo V600 actually goes for Australia for at least 600 Australian dollars. So that's about 400 US, 450 US actually, given the actual current actual exchange rate. So obviously I could get 3 of these or get one of those. So I thought I'll give this a try, and we're going to see how it actually holds up. So I have gone through the actual device and the actual ports. So what I've actually got here, I've actually got my Xbox One X actual setup here. So we're going to try a bit of actual gaming on the actual device. So front of the device, we got the your IR blaster for your actual remote. So it's just a standard remote that you get with most Chinese model actual projectors, pretty standard. So you've got your source, on button, source, power, directional buttons, you know, skip left and right, play, stop, actual back and mute button. What you will actually notice that there is no sound controls, and what I've actually noticed on the actual device itself, that there is no physical sound controls on the actual device. So if you're wondering about controlling actual volume, there's only one set of actual volume. I was very actually surprised about this. The good thing is if you're actually streaming through the actual device itself, you can actually change that on your actual app or your actual mobile. But what I'll probably end up actually doing is actually hooking this up to an actual soundbar on external audio, which it does have here. So I'm going to actually go on the actual side here. So you've got your VGA actual port here, you've got your HDMI, which I've actually hooked up. So I've actually got a Google actual Chromecast hooked up because we're going to actually test the actual streaming on this actual device itself. You've got USB. This is USB 2.0. It sounds pretty old, but most actual video will actually be actually transferred and actually encoded through a USB 2 speeds actually quite well. To most actual videos, you're talking about megabits, and USB 2 is actually fine, so I'm not too actually concerned about that. Thing is, I wish there was an actual second actual USB port there, because that way I could actually power the actual Chromecast or actually on the actual device itself, rather than running through an actual cable. I've got it running through an actual power board here. Obviously, I'm in the spare room in my actual house, so we're only using this room for actual testing the actual device first, and then I'll probably think about actually like mounting an actual on. Kind of wish there was an actual second actual port, and the reason why is obviously I could run the actual Chromecast at the same time while actually running an actual hard drive. So I've got an actual hard drive here. I've got some media that we're actually going to actually play on the actual device and see it actually holds up. And I'll be running through to which actual media that it can actually play, and how well it actually works. So we also got like an AV port actually here. So if you've got legacy actual consoles or VCRs or camcorders, you will be actually able to actually run that through that device. The actual projector actually came with RCA cables, which you can actually hook up. So I will be actually trying that out as well. So we're going to see how it holds up with analog signals actually. And obviously you've got your headphone here. This is your audio out. So if you've got an external speaker, you can actually plug it in. But first thing I want to try is the external actual speakers. So this actual projector actually has two actual bottom actual firing speakers that fire downwards. So if you're actually placing this on an actual shelf or putting it like directly on an actual contact surface was here, the actual sound is actually going to be actually impacted. So obviously that's going to be actually better if you were actually going to mount it from the ceiling or mount it elsewhere. But we're just to see how it actually goes. As I said, there's no physical volume actual control, so we're going to see how this goes. So obviously on the actual top here, we've actually got your standard actual controls, power button, menu, obviously your source actual selection, your back button, and obviously your navigation and enter or OK actual keys. Going from the actual front, we've got the actual lens here. I've already actually taken the actual lens actual cap off. I was really surprised when I actually bought this, because I thought this was an LCD actual projector. It turns out to be an LED actually. So good thing about the actual DAT is LEDs tend to be a lot brighter than LCD projectors. They also consume less power, and they do tend to actually last longer. So this is rated at 3600 actual lumens. I do have my doubts about that, because that's obviously the actual marketing as to speak, because the actual website does not actually state the actual ANSI actual lumens. So that's obviously the actual standardized actual brightness of the actual projector. That's not standard at actual all. So obviously I'm guessing, see how we go, but I'm guessing this is probably anywhere between 200 to 300 at most. But yeah, we'll turn up the lights and we'll see how we actually go. The good thing about LED as well is the actual bulb is actually, well, the actual light source actually lasts us a bit longer. We're looking at, it states 50,000 actual hours. So standard use, if you're using it, you know, several hours an actual day, this is going to last you a very, very long time. And obviously at 170 Australian dollars, even if it breaks, I've got a 12-month actual warranty in this. We can send it back, and even if it's beyond that actual warranty date, I'm not going to be too concerned, because I've got several TVs in the actual house, a lot more expensive, and I don't think I've actually had an actual TV for over 10 years anyway. So, you know, if this lasts me a couple of years, then, you know, it's done its job. So obviously on the top we've got focus and keystone actual correction. So if you've got a funny like angled actual wall, you actually will be able to actually fix that actual up. So to this projector, according to the actual manual, actually projects an actual screen between 35 inches to 250 inches. That is mind-bogglingly actual crazy. I don't think I've ever projected like an image that large. Obviously at 250 actual inches, it's not going to look pretty. So, but maybe if you're going to use it outside, you're going to project it on an actual building or an actual house, it actually may work. It won't be as actual bright as you're going to actually expect it, but even if it projects, you know, half of that, I am actually happy. And I believe like most people actually be happy as well. Obviously with 7 actual 20 actual P, like you will see actual pixelation on the actual screen, and you will notice that in LCD and LED actual projectors, less so with TBL actual projectors, but obviously with the TBL projectors, increased risk of actual rainbow effect. But obviously that's not too much of an actual case with the newer actual projectors these days. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to turn this on and we're going to have an actual quick look. So I'm actually just going to go on the sides. So the sides are really actual easy. You've actually just got your actual power actual supply. So I think this draws 150 watts, I believe. So this is an actual air vent. So it has 2 actual fans that actually draws actual air out, and I believe that it blows air out of this vent here. So I'm actually going to actually be measuring the actual temperature as well. So I'll be grabbing my infrared actual thermometer, shooting it around the actual device to see how hot it actually goes. I could not find my actual sound meter, so I won't be actually measuring the actual sound, but you will be able to actually hear the actual sound through the actual recording, because I'll be putting it roughly where like a normal person actually sits, and you guys can actually judge for yourself if the noise of the actual projector is actual too loud. Obviously, if you're actually going to mount this on an actual ceiling, it's not going to be an actual problem, because it's just not going to be in your actual face. And if you're going to use external speakers, it's not going to be an actual problem at all. So obviously, I'm going to do a lot of testing on this device. So we're going to see how it. So obviously, the Xbox One X can output up to 4K at 60 frames a second, and actually does HDR as well. Obviously, you're not going to actually get that through a 720p actual projector. But the actual good thing is, obviously, you're going to get down scaling through the Xbox 160, so there's not going to be an actual bottleneck in terms of actual in terms of actual input actually going in the actual device, and the actual images may look at actual better. And obviously, the Xbox One X, it has FreeSync, but obviously that's not going to work, because obviously you don't have an actual TV that's actually going to be actual compatible with actual FreeSync anyway. But yeah, that's just something to think about. And what we're going to do is, obviously we're going to be streaming, we're going to be using actual media device. I'm also going to be hooking up to my actual laptop as well, so we'll be testing out actual frame rates as well, and also a bit of PC gaming to see how that holds up. And good thing is, I've actually found my my old actual GameCube, so we're going to hook the old GameCube up and check out the analog signals. And I've got my Switch charging in the other room, but I've actually found the actual dock, so we can actually try it with the actual Switch as well and see how that actually plays out. So just hang around and we're gonna see how this goes. Alright, be back soon.